Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awards Entertainment. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Law Institute of Canada, broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. brokerage, and your host. Tonight we're going to talk about important factors that are affecting the real estate market. So it's very important to understand those factors because without knowing it, you will be making a decision that will affect your procurement or acquisition of a property or disposition of a property. First of all, what are the main factors? There are few, and I'm going to name them. First is inflation. Inflation has triggered interest rate hike by Bank of Canada, and fortunately it has come down to 2.8% in June. Therefore, that is a good sign that inflation rate will go further down, hopefully in the third quarter. Therefore, Bank of Canada may not increase the benchmark rate, because each time bank changes their policy rate, it affects the interest rate that we borrow money, whether it is a line of credit or variable mortgage. People are adopting variable mortgage because they see that potentially in next year the interest rate will decline a little bit or start moving downward. Therefore, they will want to not to fix the mortgage now for a long period of time. Second thing is immigration. Immigration in past 2 years, we have over 1.5 million immigrants came to Canada after the pandemic or during the pandemic and after in 21, 22 and 23, more will be coming. So when they are coming in, prior to pandemic, we have a shortage of 45 to 55,000 units, homes across Canada. Then pandemic hit us, and demand for houses go up, and you saw what happened in 21. Our price increased by 18%. Some areas even more than that. Lots of people who couldn't afford it, they sold their property, took advantage of that, they sold their big property, and they move away from to the small city. So this has impact. Now, immigrations are coming, they need to move in. And short supply of houses was already there. And our government system, federal, provincial, and municipalities, they haven't come up with a strategic move to expedite the process of approving this. They didn't have any mechanism where they all work together aggressively, even though Ontario government have made some efforts to increase production and create 1.5 million houses in 10 years. And they are making efforts. I haven't heard anything like that on other provinces. By the end of the day, majority of these immigrants, about 55 to 60%, they settle in Vancouver or Toronto GTA area. And demand for the housing goes consistently high. And productivity in terms of production, construction of homes, not has expedited to the speed which it creates more supply, because it's all supply and demand issue. The more supply, it controls the price. But since the builder wants to have a more profit for their houses, therefore they're controlling the construction. I think this should be mandatory for the builders, construction companies, to when they acquire a land for development, they should expedite that. So that is where immigrants are coming in, and they have to find a place. That's why apartments gone up. You have seen the the June report, which we have shared in our episode, that the price has gone up. So I'm going to share a little bit of that information one more time. And as you can see, under the TREB report, our average price is 1.785 million in 416 area, a detached home, and in 905, which includes Mississauga, Brampton, Milton, Oakville, their price is 1,451,198 based on Toronto Regional Real Estate Board data market-wide that was announced. A semi-detached in Toronto 416 is $1,408,550, and 905 is $1,062,988. So imagine that cost. But if you move away from the big city, you want to move away, you want to downsize, you can go to Thorold, you can go to Lincoln, you can go Niagara Falls. That area is booming, and cost of there have doubled. Houses value has doubled there. So this is why it's very important to increase the supply. We need to ask our provincial and federal parliament members, they are our voice in the House of Commons and the parliament, to increase the supply, focus on that. But unfortunately, we still remain a shortage of housing, because we were looking at the report, and I'm going to share with you that Canada-wise report that came out from TREB and also Korea. We're going to share that information with you. Right now, the sale has gone up 16.5% in June, and our average price has increased June 22 to 23, 3.2%. So price is going up, and our listing are minus 12.3 as compared to what was in June. So that's why is now sales are going up, supply is up, people want to buy the property, and the school's going to start in September. So parent wants to know where they want to settle. So they are trying to find and expedite the process. Now, interest rate has significantly impacted the ability of buying a house. And if you're looking, a house and you qualify, you can buy a detached home in Mississauga, Toronto, or even Brampton, or even Milton for $1 million. So even in Milton, if you're looking for a detached home, single garage, you're looking at 1.2 to 1.25 million for a detached home. Obviously, is a lot more in Mississauga. So affordability is an issue, because renewal of mortgage. Now we're going to go back. The other factors affecting us is the renewal of mortgage or getting affordability to get a mortgage. And if you don't qualify, you can't afford it, you will end up in a private lending situation, which in last Thursday in my episode, I mentioned to you, cost is high for private lending. If you are already suffering or having a difficulty to maintain a mortgage or get a mortgage to carry on the payment, don't do a private lending. Unless private lending is strictly for a small or short period of time, 3 months to 6 months, or you're closing something, you got into trouble for some reason, you need money, and you can close it, but make sure you are able to pay back that and get out from this. Because private lending, interest rate can be 10% to 14, 15%, depend on it, and you pay 4 or 5% brokerage fee or lender fee together. So it's not cheap. So this is very, very important. And then, and therefore, pay attention, especially on the mortgage renewal is a factor now. And if with this increase, you are not able to renew your mortgage. I was on a TV show with Afsar Tahir. He runs a Realty Coffee Cafe, and I was their guest 2 days ago. and some gentleman called about the mortgage factors, and then after staff was talking to me, the issue again is that when your renewals are coming to you, pay attention. If you have a variable mortgage, then continue. Don't ask question, continue with this, and as long as you can afford it. I am a principal broker of Canada Express Mortgage Inc., license number 13241. So I can advise you, do not change your lender if they are giving you an option to renew. Most cases, if you switch from A lender to B lender, you need to be qualified. So depending on your mortgage renewal, but do not expect the bank will give you the same rate what you have right now, or you had it for a couple of years. That is changing because nobody going to give you, they're going to borrow money at higher price from Bank of Canada, and they cannot give you at the same price. I tell you, when the Bank of Canada rate goes down, let's say it was very low before, the bank was making double and triple profit on it. They were getting it for 0.25%, then 0.5%, but they were giving you 1.2 or 2%. And imagine how much profit they were making. Now they have to borrow more than 5% or 5%. So they have expenses. So their expenses are about 2 to 2.5%. So depending on which bank that you are dealing with, they will add that. So if they are borrowing at 5 and they give you at 7.25, or they can give you at 6, for example, or 6.5, so they are only charging you 1.5% to cover their expenses and also make some profit, because cost of borrowing is high. They are not able to make that much money by doing this. But the interest rate goes down. Let's say they borrow at 2, they give you at 4. They are profiting at double that amount they borrow. So banks are also not getting the money that they deserve or they want to receive it. Their profit will go down this year because of what's happening. So now I just go back and then continue our conversation, is that show you just a template about what happened since January to now. I'm looking at the figures that I have shared in the past. In January, our sale was minus 44.6% in compared to 22 January. And in February was minus 47%. Then in March, it went to minus 36.5. In April, it went to minus 5.2 as compared to April 22. And then in May, we went into positive sale category. We went 24.7% as compared to April last year. In June, we are down a little bit again. Our sale was 16.5% as compared to sale in June 22 as compared to 23. Now, average price, I want to show you the trend, where the price is going. And this is based on Toronto Regional Real Estate Board data published on MarketWatch. So in January, we were average price was minus 16.4%. In February was minus 17.9. It started declining. Afterward, March was minus 14.6. And then in April was minus 7.8. And May was minus 1.2. We were minus as compared to similar month in 22 compared to 23. And in June, we are 3.2% average price increase compared to June 22 in 23. So that shows that prices has come back. We are higher than June now. So that tell you there is an opportunity, and unfortunately we have a shortage of supply. It's still showing inventory lower, and this is why it's very, very important to know that. We're going to talk about some other issues. Foreign buyers, this is another factor, and we're going to talk about that also. The government of Canada, the federal government issued a prohibition on the purchase of residential by non-Canadian act. This is for banning non-residents to buy a property in Canada, across Canada, for 2 years, from January 1 to 23 to December 24. And there was a lobbying done by Canadian Real Estate Association and many other factors, because it was restricting and impacting very significantly real estate transactions. So giving idea was to have a more and more houses available to Canadians to buy, and by increasing interest rate, cut down on the consumer behavior of purchasing and buying and selling. But on the other hand, you are bringing 500,000 immigrants every year. How are they where they're gonna live? They're gonna buy clothes, they're gonna buy food, they're gonna buy cars, they're gonna buy houses, whatever. And some of them have a lot of cash money they're bringing in. So our problem of our affordability, buying a home, remains the same. So it's continuing, it's not stopping, because immigration does bring skill set, knowledge and experience, people educated on somebody else's money. They come to Canada, they have a better life, and they contribute to the economy, because when they are working or investing or doing business, they are generating revenue, and government of Canada create taxes, charge taxes. But imagine that how much money was disbursed by federal government to people, and nothing had happened. The economy has its own way of generating revenue, demand for products. Production was low, and now everything is to the maximum level, and construction also is booming. Shortage of material is there, but you have seen the escalation of cost for anything. When you are buying a product, you go to the grocery, you will see the price. You go to gas, you see the price. You buy the clothing or anything you buy, you are paying double the price. So therefore, how would you reduce the cost? If economy is generating jobs, they can find people, therefore they are bringing more immigrants. But there are lots of people who are struggling to maintain their home. They have no job, or they lost a job, they don't have a skill set. So there are so many factors that affected us. So foreign buyers. So there was a complaint and a protest and lobbying to increase that. The federal government has made some changes to the foreign buyers. It might have some impact or not impact on us. So if you are in a work permit work permit holder in Ontario or Canada, you can buy a house in Canada. But there are other factors involved with that. This is for non-Canadian who are non-residents, but they come to Canada and work permit. This is exemption from the act. They need to be 183 days or more in Canada with a work status in order to buy a property. Remember that it's possible that you might have to pay speculation tax in Ontario, which is 25%, because you are allowed to buy the property, but you're still non-residents. You're still subject to 25% tax. So I suggest to you to talk to your chartered accountant when you are buying a property. If you are on immigration, to talk to your accountant to find out, does this apply or not, or talk to your legal counsel who's helping. In Ontario, you have to have a lawyer to help you close a deal. So they are there, they're going to charge you money to close a deal. Why don't you consult with them before you acquire a property? And some land development now, land zone for residential and mixed use, including residential development, are allowed by non-Canadian. Now non-Canadian can buy it, these development land, that means government wants you to invest in non-developed areas and build those projects, and they will allow you to do it. Private corporation, they can buy up to from 3% to 10%. The threshold corporation foreign control increase from 3% to 10%. And this is effective March 27. And any realtor or any brokerage that violates this rules under prohibition or purchase of residential by non-Canadian Act, they can be fined up to $10,000 per incident. So we're going to take a short break. We will come back and continue our conversation on important factors affecting the real estate market.
हसीन लगना तो सभी चाहते हैं, मगर हुस्न का निखार तभी मुमकिन है जब आपका स्टाइलिस्ट हो एक्सपर्ट एंड क्वालिफाइड। ब्यूटी बार एंड ब्राइडल, ऑल एक्सपर्टीज इन वन पॉइंट। हमारे यहाँ थ्रेडिंग, लेटेस्ट फेशियल ट्रीटमेंट, बेस्ट बॉडी वैक्सिंग, मेकओवर जैसा आप चाहें, जबरदस्त ब्राइडल पैकेज, मैनिक्योर, पेडिक्योर, केराटिन ट्रीटमेंट, क्रायो हेयर ट्रीटमेंट और बहुत कुछ जो आपके हुस्न को चार चांद लगा दे। तो देर किस बात की, अभी विजिट कीजिए ब्यूटी बार एंड ब्राइडल। वी आर लोकेटेड एट 5150 डिक्सी रोड, यूनिट 6, मिसिसागा। अवार्ड विनिंग इंडियन ब्यूटी सैलून। फॉर अपॉइंटमेंट्स कॉल नाउ 437-324-2885। ब्यूटी बार एंड ब्राइडल, वन स्टॉप ब्यूटी सैलून।
मशरकी तहजीब की खूबसूरत दास्तान, बरसों से चली आ रही रिवायतों का पासबान, खुशबू और जायके का वही कदरदान, करते हैं हर खाने में अपने लज्जत का एहतमाम। हर पकवान है बेमिसाल, हर खुशबू है लाजवाब। कढ़ाई पॉइंट, जायका ऐसा कि दिल जीत ले। आज ही हमारे कढ़ाई पॉइंट तशरीफ लाएं और अपनी खुशियों को हमारे संग मनाएं। कढ़ाई पॉइंट, मेड विद क्वालिटी एंड फ्लेवर्ड विद पैशन।
मुसलमान होने के नाते हमें इस बात पे फख्र है कि हम हलाल तरीके से जिंदगी गुजार रहे हैं, लेकिन आपको इस बात का कैसे पता चलेगा जिन हेल्थ सप्लीमेंट्स का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं वो हलाल हैं या नहीं? पेश करते हैं न्यूट्रिलक्स। हमारे पास बेहतरीन क्वालिटी और रेंज ऑफ हेल्थ सप्लीमेंट्स मौजूद हैं जो कि हलाल सर्टिफाइड हैं और 100% वीगन हैं। बच्चों के लिए हमारे पास मजेदार गमी की शक्ल में विटामिन्स मौजूद हैं जो उनकी जरूरी गजाइयत को हासिल करना आसान और खुशगवार बनाते हैं। मर्दों के लिए हमारे सप्लीमेंट सेहतमंद और तंदुरुस्त रहने का आसान तरीका पेश करते हैं, चाहे आप एक एथलीट हो, बिजी प्रोफेशनल या पेरेंट। खवातीन के लिए हमारे सप्लीमेंट्स हैं जो आपकी मजमूई सेहत और तंदुरुस्ती में मदद करते हैं, चाहे आप अपनी एनर्जी को बढ़ाना चाहते हैं या अपने स्किन और बालों को सेहतमंद रखना चाहते हैं। और बुजुर्गों के लिए हमारे टैबलेट्स आपकी सेहत की खुसूसी जरूरियात को पूरा करने और आपकी उम्र के साथ साथ आपको एक्टिव और इंडिपेंडेंट रहने में एक अहम किरदार अदा करती है। न्यूट्रिलक्स सप्लीमेंट्स जिंदगी के हर मरहले के लिए, ताकि आप अपने हलाल अख्तार पर कायम रह सकें।
इश्क दा कुक्कड़, इश्क दा कुक्कड़ बंगा देवे, बंगा देवे, बंगा देवे।
सांसों की माला पे सिमरू मैं पी का नाम।
सुन साया तेरे इश्क दिया खरा मंगिया, तब कबूतर उड़ार छोड़िया, आजा मैं तेनू प्यार करा।
HK Movers, home, offices, apartments and delivery, big or small, we move it all.
HK Movers.
Local and long distance, we also ship cars, Keller transport and moving services.
For service with a smile, give us a call.
Call Mr. Harminder 416-524-6704.
416-524-6704 पे.
Visit 140 Advance Boulevard, Unit number 10, Brampton.
Long distance moving specialist.
HK Movers. HK Movers.
Welcome to EB Electronics. Call 647-762-3956.
डिक्सी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और अप्लायंसेस पिछले 16 सालों से खरीदारों की खिदमत कर रहे हैं। हम लगातार 4 सालों से खरीदारों की पहली पसंद बने रहने का अवार्ड हासिल कर चुके हैं। हम किचनर्स, बॉश, वर्लपूल, एलजी, सैमसंग और जनरल इलेक्ट्रिक के ऑथराइज्ड डीलर हैं। 5 स्टार खिदमत का लुत्फ लें। हम आप सभी को टीवी सबसे ज्यादा रियायती दामों पर देने की गारंटी देते हैं। www.dixieelectronics.ca हमारी वेबसाइट पर जाएं या अभी कॉल करें 9056255900। सभी बहुत ही मुनासिब कीमत पर दस्तयाब हैं जो आप बाआसानी से ले सकते हैं। At Dixie, we sell quality and deliver confidence.
Zoc. Now it's fully renovated. Live catering, barbecue, tandoor, जलेबियाँ और फ्रेश नान। तकरीब आपके घर में हो या घर से बाहर, Zoc is providing full service now, and Zoc has opened a new banquet hall, garden event center. आपका Zoc देखकर लोग कहेंगे क्या Zoc है आपका? Call right now 905-625-7786. Zoc वालों के लिए।
Welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment. My name is Tahir. I'm a fellow of Real Estate Institute of Canada, broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. Brokerage, and your host. And we're talking about important factors affecting real estate market. Why foreign buyers invest in Canada? Historically, based on annual statistic of Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, every 10 years, the property value doubles. In 2010, an average price across all the data available from TRAB was $431,262. In 2021, it went $1,095,475. More than the double the price. Why these attractive? Even though the buyer has to pay speculation tax, when they dispose of the property, they have to pay the capital gain almost 25-30%. They still want to invest in Canada because the safest thing to do. And you have something to hold on to it. It's not a digital currency that you can flash up a minute and you lose everything, your asset. You never seen the money. Whereas the house or real estate, you can see it, you can hold it. You have a piece of paper on the land, you make some decision. It's not virtual, it's a real property. You can buy it. And that's why the foreign are interested. Even though the foreign buyer cannot seek immigration because that is not related to real estate. That's a totally separate process. They go through the lawyers to get out all the laws and regulations. They talk to chartered accountant about the taxing and capital gain with all speculation tax 25% Ontario. With all these aspects, they look at the bottom line. At the end of the day, if I invest in real estate now, at 10 years down the line, I will double my investment because the bank will not give you that kind of money. They give you 1, 2, 3%. And this is why the foreigners are taking chances. They're buying it. They cannot buy now detached homes, single family homes, but they can buy multiple homes. That means 6 or 10 and above condo units, but they cannot buy multiplexes like below six units. And beyond that, we have to check each time because I have done a global connectivity conference today. It was our 29th consecutive Global Connectivity Conference. And I'm a CIPS, Certified International Property Specialist. I have a CIPS professional around the world. So if you need to buy a property anywhere in the world, as long as there are consumer laws or a CIPS who's my global partner, I can help you to buy a property through a certified and licensed professional who has a CIPS designation like me, and they're part of my global real estate professional network. And you are able to buy Florida, USA, anywhere, Germany, Frankfurt, England, Dubai, you name it, France, you name it. I have the global network to help you. And obviously, when we're buying and selling, we do cost estimates to see what is the closing cost for the property. You do it for your home. In buying in Ontario, closing cost is approximately 2%, which covers land transfer fee, title insurance, lawyer fee, everything. But if you buy property in Toronto, it could be 3.5 or 4% because there is a land transfer tax, is an extra tax that you have to pay, and that's why. Now, the other important thing is when you are dealing with these impact, all the effort that the federal government has done, Ontario government has done, municipalities have done, we are at the same place again. We still have a shortage of housing. We still have a crisis in terms of affordability. How people are going to renew their mortgages? So I predict that there will be a lot more sales coming up in the market because it's an affordability issue. The biggest irony is the rental has gone skyrocketed. A single bedroom apartment in Oakville, for example, $2,550 to $2,700 a month in Oakville, 1 bedroom plus den. How can you survive? And you are going to maintain your house. If you have not finished your basement to generate income to support you, give me a call. My company, I'm a director and senior vice president of Park Home Builders. We also have a Park Home renovation company. We can help you to build your legal basement and get your license and building permit and build you reasonable cost, and so you can generate income to pay your mortgage and you don't have to move from your house. So call me directly on 416-451-3489. I'd be more than happy to recommend to our team who are professional. We have in-house engineers, planner, and team that go out and do the work. And they design the basement, get your building permit, everything to make sure that you stay in your house. This is very, very important. To learn more about Park Home Builders, you can go to parkhomebuilders.ca. They are HCRA registered builder and also vendor. You're watching Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment. My name is Tahir. I'm a fellow of Rose Issue of Canada. If you have any question about any episode that I share on Awaz Television, please call me directly, 416-451-3489. If you wish to advertise on our show, you can call 647-484-0018. You will get a special package because you are a viewer of Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada around the world. Thank you for watching, and see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. Bye for now. May God bless you all. May God bless Canada. Thank you and bye for now.